Beautiful beings of the universe, welcome to now. In this video, I wanted to talk about what is it that you truly want? And have you ever realized the moment you actually receive what you want, then the same very thing which is working for you, you somehow start to not enjoy that so much anymore. But if that is taken away from you, then you want to hold on to it and you want to say, no, I don't want to let this go. And it might be for anything, it might be for the habit that you have. And just at the points when you are suppressed from meeting your desire, it's at that point that your desire tends to get even more stronger. And I don't know how that happens. But on the other hand, if you were just given what you wanted, your desire to attain that and be mad after it just tends to disappear. So it brings back to the point, what is it that truly makes you desire something? The reason that you want to have something is because of its opposite that exists. That means you have felt the other side of it, wherein you were deprived of that thing, of that idea, of that notion, of that state of existence. And because you were deprived and you were not respected, you seek fame, you seek money, you seek power. Imagine a world that was utopian, where everything was perfect, you are properly loved, cared, and a good community wherein everybody understands each other. In that sort of society, there's going to be no competition. There would be growth. Now understand there's difference in growth and a competition that is there out of jealousy. And though there is growth in both of these parameters, like you might bring a lot of development in the society with competition, with rat race, because that is going to still make the rats work out of fear. And fear is a strong energy that triggers you to act. So don't discard fear that it's not a valuable energy. That is not true, because a lot of your actions does come from a state of lot of fear that the world puts on you. So what do you do is you take a lot of action. That action might be about change, and you change yourself. You change. Sometimes you might need to adapt, sometimes you might need to evolve, sometimes you might need to transcend. And what you need to do, you get to decide that. And understand that the world around is there to manipulate you, because their manipulation is going to serve their best interests. So that might be about dark psychology. Why do you think media and all of these social media, news, internet, they keep on sending you messages through the music, through the audio, through the visuals, through the images, so that it subtly affects you? Don't do this, or that is going to happen, or it's going to breed in a lot of fear into you, or that might be around greed. Have more money, because if you don't have this and that, and if you don't make it, you're going to get trashed out of the system. The fear based. So how do you ride this world? How do you live in the world? Because what Christ said was to be in the world but not of the world. Now that does not mean that you just leave everything and just stay solo. Maybe that you might try that, but you might find that is not easy either. Even if you leave everything aside, you're still going to have a lot of challenges with your own inner self now trying to adapt. So for example, if you go to a mountain to live in seclusion like a saint, and you're still going to find out it's not going to be easy, because you must adapt with the nature. So there's a fine line between the balance that you strike about you being original or you trying to fit in. Now here's the catch: the more original you are, more you're going to be hated upon. You're not going to be liked and affirmed by society. They're going to dislike you because you have your own opinions, because you see things in a right way, and which others might call that this is not right, because we live in an upside down world. This is Kali Yuga. This is the age of darkness, where prosperity and growth is assigned to somebody who is more violent and barbaric, and who says, I can fight it, and see, I can fight it, so I deserve it. But if you're not violent, and if you're not at that level, wild sort of a mentality, then you might be denied, because they might think that you do not have the capability to harm. And what if that is true? You do not want to be violent, because that's not your nature, because you do not have that much evil in you. So the society would want to sideline you, like, just stay aside, and then they are going to put a lot of roadblocks on your path. So that is about the dark psychology. They do not come and speak to you, but through the subtle messages, they're going to show that I have got a lot more power over you, and it's me that enables your existence. So you must adapt. You must conform. That's about the society. Conformity. So this is not just a problem of this day and age right now. This has been the problem for eternity. Diogenes was the great philosopher who said that I'm not going to give out my authenticity for the sake of just fitting in. And that meant a lot of seclusion from the society. That meant a lot of troubles that he had to undergo. And now, the true question that you might have for yourself, that I have for myself, is how bold are you to undergo all of that trials and tests? Because clearly you are being tested, and you go through all these tribulations every single day, like literally every single day. And now, at this point in time, I just say, bring it on. Because I'm just going to see how far I can go. I want to see how far they can go. How far would they go to stop somebody who is just authentic and who is an independent thinker, who sees from what's right and wrong. And it's not that you arrive at the right understanding in the first shot. So while the society tries so hard to manipulate you, you might be you might have just, because you're innocent, because I'm innocent, I might have just fallen to their sweet sugary words, to their innocent pretentious smiles. And you think, yeah, they're nice, they're angels. But just be careful, because sometimes the the goodness from the world that you get is because they're expecting something else from you at the other end. And know that nothing is for free. Nothing is for free. So don't just be too quick to say, wow, that is awesome and that's free. I love it. I'm enjoying this. Because if somebody offers you something free, even if that's the system, there's a price for that on the other end. Because we live in a world of give and take, it's all transactional. So just be careful. Don't just sign up because something is offered to you. Don't take something that you don't need. So, about this dark psychology of manipulation, of how people manipulate you. And what is dark psychology? Let me tell you. So, even if you're with your friends or family or with colleagues, somebody who does not like you when you basically grow, somebody who tends to hate you as you start to expand more in your consciousness, as you start to make better choices for yourself. And why do you want to make better choices for yourself? Because you want truth. All that matters to you is truth, because you know that no amount of lies that would give you maybe illusionary power, you know that is not the truth. Because your power is just a puppet system. You realize that. Because the moment you spoke the truth, all that power is taken away from you. The moment you start telling your experience of truth, all that wealth is also taken away from you. All those relationships of your friends, family, and social connections, so to speak, it's all taken away from you the moment you adjust yourself. Society is going to lie to you in so many ways. You're intelligent, they will tell you you're dumb. You're young, you're beautiful, they're going to tell you you're old and ugly. You are somebody who has got the vision, somebody who's a world class leader, and they're going to tell you, you know what? You're just mindless. And I don't care about any of the things that you say. So, the problem with all of this is if you go on believing the lies, because the lies is continuously on, and whatever is the streak of truth that you have inside, which comes through courage, because the system and the society wants to beat somebody down who is standing in the truth, and they want to threat you like, you better watch out, you better be blind like us, else you're not going to have any sort of approval, which anyway they're not doing it, which anyway they don't do, because if they've already seen you, they already know who you are, they know your vibe, they know your DNA, they have all of the information about you, because they know that you're the chosen, they know that you are different in a world full of darkness. You have the light, and that's why they hate you for that. And this exclusion from this world, and even if you change your place where you are at, and even if you change the land, you're going to see this hive mentality, because honestly you're going to question, where do I truly belong? Where do you truly belong? You're looking for people of higher consciousness who just can see through, and you're not about the global borders and and categorization of the society, like, I own and I belong to this country, I have this passport, and I belong to this religion, and I look like so and so, and I'm this race, and I'm that race, all that dumb nonsensical things. But sad as it may sound, that's the way we live in the world. If I had to redesign the world, I'm going to make just one central unity consciousness that should be about humanity. And that's not going to be around about all of these differentiations that you are just going to divide. And division is for what? Division is for better control of the systems that works for the people. Though we have a lot of comfort in this day and age, but that does not guarantee you a life of wellness. So if you're somebody who's woke, who just sees through what's going on, and you have to speak about it, not just because you want to, but you have to, because there's no other outlet of expression left. So they're going to call you that, oh, you're so sad, you're so depressed, you're so dark, you're so pessimistic. I was at the gym last night, and all these gang stalkers, they take turns, because I work out 4 hours or 5 hours, and these bunch of gang stalkers, they've got their timeline, because they clearly do not come to work out, they come to gang stalk you. So they take my videos, send out messages to their master, and then probably they get bored, because that's all they have to do every single day. So I saw these gang stalkers, they come in turns, and then they leave, and then the same guy comes, who comes every single time. And because you have been through all of these games of the system, you face your fear so deep that basically you just got fearless. They thought that their suppression is going to make you timid, coy, and hiding from the system, but that's not about you. Because you realize that there's no point in living a life that wherein you did not live the way you wanted to, wherein you did not express what you had to say, what was your viewpoint about life. Now, mind you, this there might be a lot of people who bend and follow to the system, who sell their soul just for fame, just for control, just for getting along, so that others say, "Yeah, you're awesome. You're the one, and I'm going to worship you." So realize this, that even these demonic entities, they truly themselves are never at ease, because the real essence of being at ease is only as long as you're in your true nature, and by birth, that's how humans are. By birth, you are supposed to align with your truer, most honest self. And this whole race of technology, machine, AI is all about taking away your humanity. They want you to stay in this body, but the you that lives inside, which makes you you, your reality, your truest self, they want that dead. And that's why they keep on scanning you 24/7 with these gang stalkers, with these birds, with these animals, just somehow trying to. They do not just want your death, they want the death of the living consciousness that's inside of you. Because if they truly wanted your death, they have a lot of power and money. They can just get rid of the chosen one by just getting them killed in any form, in any way. They might shoot them, or they might murder them, or just do whatever they want to do, because they have a lot of power and fame and money. But they do not want that. What they want is you to doubt your own belief system. And that's what they want to attack, because they see you. You might feel that you are very powerless and you do not have as much control and wealth like them. But what they do see is the light that you have. Because in this world of entire darkness, where all of these entities are zombies, where it's so easy to be sold out as a gang stalker, and they can have thousands of you, but they know that you, the real one, you are just one in a billion. And that's why they do not just want to get rid of you. Because you are also a sort of amusement or entertainment for them. And they watch you, they just find you very amusing, like an alien sort of a thing. Like, how are you so different? Like, what are you? And though if they want, because they have the power and money, they can easily get you out of the system. They can easily make you disappear into a no man's land, or maybe to a nowhere place. But they don't do that, because they also find you weird and maybe entertaining. Entertaining, so just because you are different. Not that they like you, they don't like you. But they just enjoy the puppeteering that's going on. They want to puppet you. They want to make you look like you're a lab rat. Now, a scientist doesn't love a rat, do they? But they just are curious in seeing what the rat does. So to their world, you are like a lab rat. And they test you through all of these environments. How are you going to react when we send you gang stalkers 24/7? How are you going to react when we make people disrespect you at gym or at cafes? How are you going to react when we make people love bomb you at shops or cafes, just overly trying to be extra nice to you? And you know that all of that is a pretense. You know that they do not respect you. They are just being told that today let's change the game. Today let's fool this person. This experiment is about how do you react when the environment is nice to you. The other day it might be of disrespect. Let us give a lot of hatred to this experiment and see how do they react. And all of this is just about recording your responses. And they do that all of the time. I see them writing something or just taking notes on you in their laptop, their iPad, or on their phone, just making someone a call about you, calling your name, just to see how you're going to react. And because you're honest and you do see that I don't know where this all is going, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. So you just go with the flow and you see where does this land you? Where does this take you? Sometimes you might think that should I make decisions? Should I make hard, wired, solid, will enable decision that tells me that this is what I want? Exactly, this is what I'm going to do. Or should I just flow with the situation and circumstance, because you see that nothing makes any sense in this world. Nothing makes any sense because this whole idea of disparity, of inequality of wealth is also man-made thing. There's enough resource for everyone on the planet. There's enough housing, but still there are so many people who are homeless and who are dying. There are people with billions and trillions of money in the world who don't even need that, and they are still unhappy. So all they do is do these do these games of how I can play around like puppet, and I can play God to others' life, because I stood first in this rat race, and because I just ran and ran and ran, and I just never stopped, and I made myself a worthy king of the world or a queen of the world. So now let me just experiment around people, because I have all the wealth of the world and I'm just so bored. So I'm going to see people like toys. I just want to enjoy and see how these people react. So sometimes you might just want to be as it is, and you just stay as you are, because you do not want to keep on running all your life to prove to somebody who didn't even matter, to prove your self-worth to a society which is anyhow going to tell you you are, who are you, we don't know you. And even if they do, it's all at the cost that I clap for you and you clap for me. I talk lies about you and you talk lies about me. You know that that's not going to give you any sense of truth, and what all the humans, if you're a real human, if you're not a zombie, everybody just has got a thirst for truth. Coming to these zombies, why are people so much zombie? Because the system makes them like that. The system, first of all, breaks you down so much by constantly denying you things and making you say no, 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 not this, not that. Follow the rule, and the rule might be absolutely insane. And you're just supposed to follow because they want to show that we are the controllers, we are the one, we are the king, and you're supposed to follow. So with all this constant batting you down, you tend to feel the pain initially, and then gradually you get numb. And that's how these zombies are basically, because they have just been so dark and deep in pain that they have forgotten the true touch with themselves, with who they are. And I'll tell you, if you're a true sensible person, they're going to call you crazy and they're going to put you in mental asylum and say that you need some psychological help, because you can see through stuffs. See, look at others, nobody has got a problem, it's only you. Because rest people just wear a mask. They all wear the mask that everything is awesome, go along to get along, because the moment you say this is wrong and that is wrong, you're just executed, you're just taken out. But for you, nothing truly, you're not attached to anything because you do not have anything to feel attached to. There are certain things which you enjoy, but you also know that that attachment is at a very shallow level. That things that you enjoy, good food, you know that you can be without that. You know that you can be without basically almost anything, because you know that despite having those, you do not truly feel the absolute essence of truth. You always feel that there's something behind the curtain and you want to lift that curtain away. You want to pull the curtains. You want to truly see what's going on. And in order to see that, people want to express themselves. It's through their art, through their music, through their business, through the way they live, through their leadership, whatever you do in the world, whatever you are doing. And for a lot of people, like saintly people, even if they're not doing anything, they are just sitting on the mountain in Himalayas, or they're just meditating, or somebody who's just taken to a long walk across the world, or traveling the world without any sense of what I'm going to achieve out of that. Where is the financial thing going to come? But still, money is essential. And this is the problem, because the more free you are, society wants to tie you down to how dare you just free yourself? How can you just go to the upper chakras in yourself, to your higher state of consciousness? Because guess what? We are going to bring you down to the lower consciousness. What about the red, yellow, and orange? Stay down. Fight the system. Be a rat and fight with other rats if you want a seat on the table. But what if you say, I just can't, I don't want to fight that because I'm not violent. This is not my nature. I would do the work that needs to be done. But if you tell me to go and attack over somebody else's share and snatch from them, I would never do that. I would never ever do that. That's not how I am. And that's not who you are, truly. That's not a human essence. Society wants to project you into a format, like you should be like a machine. You've got to talk like this. So that's why, if you're somebody original who comes with your own voice blueprint, that's your own 12 stranded DNA, they're going to tell you, you're not sophisticated. Let me standardize you. Can you talk in this accent? Can you talk in that accent? Why? You should completely be as closest to the reality that seems aligned to you. But what do? They want to make you like finished cupcakes out of